So Condessa, before we dive into 20 North Gallery, I want to know a little bit about your life, because you guys are a husband-wife duo here at 20 North, and you've actually known Eric almost your whole life. Is that right?
That is true. We met many years ago. I won't say quite how long ago, but we were both involved with Toledo Ballet's Nutcracker. Eric's father danced a principal role in the production for many years, and Eric was working backstage as the mouse wrangler, all the little girls as the mice, and we had huge crushes on Eric Hillenbrand. He was so dreamy. He was a big boy. Little did I think that many years later I would still have a crush on that dreamy Eric Hillenbrand.
Let's go back to 20 North. How did this discussion even come about of, yeah, we're gonna open up an art gallery?
Well, Eric and his business partner at the time were young downtown developers. They were purchasing long abandoned properties and renovating and revitalizing them, which really was the beginning of that renaissance of Toledo's downtown. And so they had this great idea, well, what drives development in cities elsewhere? And arts and culture is one of the key motivators. And so they decided, well, let's open an art gallery. How difficult can it be? And 29 years later, and the beginning of our 30th season later, I can tell you it is a great deal more difficult than anybody thought starting out. It was described by The Blade in an article as a glowing oasis in downtown. And it really did glow, because this portion of the city, the warehouse district, had become so dilapidated that there really weren't even streetlights. To light the first few shows, they would strap huge construction lamps to the roof of the building, shining down onto the sidewalk, and with the windows lit and people coming in, hundreds of people coming for openings, coming for exhibits. It was a wonderful demonstration that people would come downtown if there was something to bring them. And it really did pave the way for all of this wonderful hustle and bustle that we have here we have Fifth Third Field now, right across the street. At one time it was a dilapidated parking lot, and now it brings in tens of thousands of people for events. So it has just been a wonderful ride seeing how the arts can change.
So things are going great, people are coming in, you're having wonderful galleries, and then in 2013, 20 North actually closed its doors. Tell us a little bit about what that decision was like.
Oh, it was something we spent a long time talking about and planning. We began marketing it as our 20th birthday because we closed on our 20th anniversary. And we felt that we had put in 20 years, and we really had seen the growth of the warehouse district, of downtown, just such a sense of accomplishment, and at the same time we were exhausted because it takes a lot of work to put a show together, to assist artists in fulfilling their creative vision and in what their exhibition will be, getting the word out, bringing people in, selling the work, shipping it, and then starting it all over again in a few weeks. Yeah. And hundreds of people came to say goodbye to 20 North Gallery. And I honestly think that that's when we started to miss it. We had this wonderful opportunity to dive in and get involved with other groups that we just hadn't had the time for in the past, but we still missed it. Just that excitement and that opportunity to spark creativity and create an exhibit like this wonderful Dan Hernandez new work exhibition, which is He has been working on the pieces for this show for 2 years, visualizing how it would be in the space.
2008, 20 North was one of the first galleries that I visited. And I remember trying to get a show here, applying to their emerging artist show and getting a rejection note from them. And so having a show here now is pretty exciting. I don't know, this is like 15 years later or something, right? So.
But that's awesome. You've had multiple shows here. What really sets apart 20 North Gallery when dealing with different exhibits and galleries and displaying your work in the way that you want it to be displayed?
Yeah, so for me, like one of the things that's great about showing here is that it is in my hometown where I'm living now. So all of my friends and colleagues can come to the reception.
Last week I saw you unboxing your pieces for new work, really being able to curate your own exhibit, having hands-on experience like that. How important is that for you as an artist?
Yeah, I mean, I like laying out the work myself. I think a certain rhythm, as an artist, you think of a certain rhythm of your work. I mean, in the studio, oftentimes when I'm working, I'll hang things like I would want them installed. Not always. Wow. Sometimes you end up with enough work that you can't do that and it ends up being a little more jumbled.
Right.
But sometimes it's important to think about the sequence of how things go together. But at the same time, I trust and appreciate Condessa and Eric's input on and Anastasia's input on what things might also work well together that maybe are a little different than what I was imagining,
Absolutely.
So having that expertise, of a gallery like 20 North that's been around for a long time and understands what a show should look like, what a show looks like in their space, because sometimes, that's also relevant. And what their buyers might be interested in terms of the work that you bring,
When people walk into the gallery as a visitor, as a patron, I want them to see, of course, this beautiful space filled with beautiful art, because it sparks that idea of, that painting looks beautiful on that wall. It would look beautiful on mine as well. What happens behind the scenes for us is exciting also, although it can look unkempt, I think, to some people when they walk in seeing just the boxes of artwork stacked against the walls and think it's never going to look like a show in 2 weeks, but it always does. And that really is where the excitement comes, though, because opening a crate with a painting in it is like Christmas morning and pulling those screws out and having this fabulous work of art revealed, and then deciding where does it go and what does it work with, how does it have a conversation with the work next to it, and what will spark a conversation with the viewer, seeing from work to work to work and having them build connections between the artwork and between the artwork and themselves. The arts are interconnected, and it is more visible in a smaller market like Toledo than it would be in the big cities. We all served on the Arts Commission, and those connections have made it possible for us to reach out to other individuals. That is, in fact, how we know Dan Hernandez, because of his work that he did first as the APP coordinator, Art in Public Places, for the Arts Commission, and now he is a trustee. And Dan introduced us to our wonderful gallery coordinator, Anastasia Wagner, who was a student of his and now works for 20 North. So the arts are a very close-knit community, and that is perhaps the best example of that networking of the arts. It is a group of 20 arts organizations that have built the arts in the community for 105 years. So we're proud to be a part of that as well. But we stay involved because if we don't, we're not here.
Your enthusiasm and your love for this just really shines bright, and I mean, it just jumps off the wall. Each of these pieces. I mean, I've been coming here for years and covering you guys, and it always looks amazing. So, with that, what does the future look like for 20 North Gallery?
Well, another full season of shows, a great 30th birthday coming up. We do plan on having a special commemorative exhibition for that event, and we will not close.
Again, will not close. Well, we can't wait to see it. Thank you so much, Contessa.
Oh, thank you, Allie. It's been a pleasure having you here, and I hope you keep coming for many, many more years.